TikTok boys them.
Okay, so
I
good
start
evening,
to see.
everybody.
All my
Uh,
feeling good banana.
we are having a section today because of the technical issues plus network issues that we had the last time, which
Music don't need
made us
permission to
not
enter your
to
spirit.
complete the section.
Anywhere, anyhow, you know, say you
And
go fit.
this
Ah,
is
yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah.
continuation
Ah,
of what we
yeah.
were doing that day. That's what today's class is mainly about. A continuation of where we stopped the other day. Okay? That is what it is. A continuation of where we stopped the other day. So I'll be moving straight to, I'll first of all run a little overview of what we did before the music has been paused. So I will run through what we did the last time, then we'll move into what was left of the class. Okay, so now moving on. In the last class, I was explaining some of the reasons behind why most businesses are struggling with advertisement. And we try to differentiate between advert, marketing, and sales. Okay, so marketing sometimes can be defined as everything and anything you do to get your ideal customer to know you, like you, and trust you. That is what marketing is about. Any and anything you do that gets you known by the ideal customers, okay, to like you, to know you first, then like you and trust you and all of that. These are some of the things I said about marketing. Then, for those who have known you, liked you, and trust you, getting them to exchange their money for your product or your services, the action you take to get them to those people who now like you, who now consider you as one of their options for those people to get to exchange and give you money for your product or your services is what can be termed as sales. Okay. Then we talked about advertisement as well, and I looked at talking about different ad platforms and some of the reason why some people are not buying or are not able to get results from their leads. Okay. A lot of people spend money on advertisement trying to generate leads. But the thing is that most of these people are unable to convert these leads into paying customers. That is one of the things we looked at. Your inability to get these people to buy what you are selling. They now know you. They have shown interest in what you are selling. They like what you are selling, but that is not really enough for them to want to give you your money. And I use the example of toothpaste. I say before I consider your toothpaste brand, first thing first is that I must know that your brand is in existence. If you walk into the mall, you walk into a supermarket, you are looking out for certain brands, close up, what are the other brands? You have brands like uh, Pensodan and so on and so forth. There are several close-up brand. Sorry, there are several toothpaste brands. Now, but the thing is, there are far more number of toothpaste brands that are in the market compared to the ones you know. So for me to even consider whether to buy your brand or your products, I must have known you. And that is the first stage of marketing, getting known. Okay? You have to be known for you to be considered as one of the options. That is what we said. You have to be known to be considered as one of the options. Same thing if you are in the real estate space, for you to be considered, I also have to know that your brand is in existence. I have to know that your city is a good city to invest in. I have to know several things. Okay. So these are some of the things you need to put into consideration while doing marketing. We also talked about having the wrong expectation. Having the wrong expectation is one of the reasons that immediately we run the ad, we are expecting them to start buying immediately. Okay. That wrong expectation, we also say, is one of the reasons why people struggle. Now, then we moved on to talking about the markets, talking about the different elements of advertisement, or the different elements of advertisement, where I talked about, when you talk about the digital platform, I said we have what we call the campaign, we have what we call the ad group or the ad set. This is dependent on the platform. Okay. But the thing you need to note is that whether it is called ad group, whether it is called ad set, that section is the audience. A general name for it is the audience. We have the campaign, the ad set or the ads group. Then we have the ads. Okay. So these are three different elements that you need to treat differently and uniquely. Now, for the campaign, that is where you pick your objective. What type of marketing result am I expecting? That will determine the type of campaign you run. So if I am trying to get known, maybe I want to run a brand or a product awareness campaign. Okay. So that is where brand awareness campaign or product awareness campaign comes into play. So the marketing objective would determine the uh, campaign objective, right? Now I want to get people to consider what I'm selling. All right. I want to get people to consider what I'm selling. That is lead generation. Okay. I want to get them to consider what I'm selling. That is lead generation. And one of the things you need to take note of is that most of you don't even have a funnel. So when I see the ad and I click on the ad, what is the next thing? What are the different processes you would take me through, or I am expected to go through? What are the different touch points from the ad? Where do I go to next? From that point, where do I go to next? All of these are some of the factors that are affecting your advertisement results. Okay. Then we moved on to the ads itself, right? I moved on to the ads itself. And while explaining the ads, I say we talk about the content, right? The content, and I said, is one of the most important aspect of your campaign. But I further divided the ads into three categories, right? I divided the ad or the content of your ad into three categories. For you to create that, you need to first of all understand the markets. Okay. Okay. Today I actually have. I know that day I was looking for the slide. You can see I have it on the screen. Though I called it the magnetic triangle of marketing and sales. So I remember saying we have the market, we have the message, and we have the media, right? Now, I said that day that the market is the first thing you need to consider. And when I said the market, I said, why are people, what type, how many types of markets we have? That they also mentioned three types of markets, where I talked about the health markets, where I talked about the wealth markets. I also went on to talk about the relationship market, and I say that certain products can be sold in different markets. I gave you an example of the shaving stick. Yeah, I gave you an example of the shaving stick, where I said that the shaving stick is can be used, or is currently from the top of your head. When you talk about shaving stick, you might think it's in the health market. And that is how most of you also get wrong the market your product is in existent in. Just like if I had asked some of you which market between health, wealth, and relationship, which of the markets does shaving stick fall into? Most of you will go for the health market, right? But the truth is that the brand position itself, most of the brand that's manufacture or distributes shaving stick, they position themselves in the health market. sorry, in the in the relationship market. That is where most of them position themselves, and that is what also inform the type of advert they run. That inform the type of market you are in existence in, would inform the message of your advertisement. The positioning you pick determine the message of your advertisement. And I gave you an example of most of those markets, most of those people coming into uh most of those people coming into having running an ad, and in that ad you will see a situation where certain people, maybe a guy walks into a club, a lounge, and trying to approach a lady because he's not well shaved, not looking clean. The lady tends to reject him. Then, but there is a guy standing at the side. He looks over. He sees that this guy is being rushed by every of the ladies around. Then he tries to understand why every lady is giving that person attention. Then the guy hands him over a shaving stick. He goes on to shave, now looking clean, and same ladies or so other ladies that rejected him before suddenly start paying attention to him. And what are they trying to sell? Relationship. Okay. And I also gave you that these days, most of the time, close up, for example, is always speaking from the different market, especially they're always speaking from the health and the relationship market. And how are they picking from the health market? Sometimes they talks about people having cavity if they don't brush their teeth with the right toothpaste. That is sometimes where they come from, having cavity and having toothache and all of that. That is an example of talking about the health benefits of close up, right? Then in some occasion, they also try talk about maybe someone having a bad breath, trying to approach a lady, and the lady turns him down, and someone hands him over a close-up toothpaste and toothbrush. He brushes his teeth. He went on to approach the same lady again. The lady go on to accept him. That is a relationship market. So in every product you are marketing, always think from this perspective. Okay, when you think from, and I also give you example of people who go to the gym. I Two persons can go to the gym. One person might be speaking from the going to the gym from the relationship market, while another person is going to the gym for health market. And I gave you an example that for people who go to the gym because they want to lose weight, because they are now obese, their doctor tell them you need to lose weight, or you begin to have certain complication and they tend to lose weight. And as they lose weight, as they go to the gym, the whole essence of going to the gym is to lose weight for their health purpose, for health purpose. Why there are some persons you see them sometimes, we even laugh at them. How you are slim already? Do you want to disappear? You must have heard people make such statements. You are slim already. Why are you still going to the gym? Why are you still all about being fit and all of that? You want to disappear? We hear people making this type of statement. And the reason why some, maybe to a perfect example, are the model. They are going to a gym because they want to look much more beautiful. All right, they want to look more appealing. They want to look, and when you ask them, when you look deep down, why do they want to look more beautiful? They want to look more beautiful, some as a result of some, maybe somebody has told them you are too fat, you are too this, you are too that, and because of that they want to change the narrative. Hence they begin to go to the gym. These are some of the things we see around us on a daily basis. And I say that as a business person, always look within this spectrum and be certain where your products fall into. These are also examples of user case. Okay. And the lab before the network went off, I remember also mentioning about the different user case when I was trying to explain about a friend who was telling me about another friend who imported engine oil, right? Imported an engine oil, and because of that, but he needed to distribute the engine oil, and he was talking to me about it for seeking my opinion on how they can better market the product. And I was looking at the different possible user case. I looked at it from the angle of mechanic recommending crude oil, the right oil for their customers, right? Then that is one user case. Another user case is from the distributor's point of view. Okay, getting these things across to different distributors to be able to sell this product easily for them. Okay, that is like the wholesalers. Now, that is another, or you do call them wholesaler or retailer, for example, that because he is like the wholesaler now, then the retailers giving it to retailers to sell to end users. That is a different user case. Then a third user case we're able to create out of this picture is a user case of someone who needs it for his or her car. That is another user case. So you cannot use one video to run this type of all three ads together. This is where some of you get it wrong. When you want to run ad like this, you want to use one single video, one single flyer to tell all of these story. Each user has a different story. Each user has a different pain point, and most of you are trying to use one video, one message to address different story. This is where, or one of the reason why your ads are not converting, right? So you need to create, so if you want to run ads, you are supposed to have different videos for different user case if your product have different user case. Okay, for example, for those of you in the real estate space now, if I want to run ad, normally I will tend to use multiple videos for one product. Okay, one video may be telling a story about the city, selling the city. Another video may be selling the amenities or the product itself, right? So that is an example of two user case already. Or sometimes I could create my video based on the users, okay, or my target audience. For example, the type of video message I'm supposed to use to target a diaspora should be different from the type of message I'll use to target those based in Nigeria. So different user case now. Okay. So, and because for example, if I upload a video for the diasporans and I want to run the ad, the right top, that my what you call in Facebook, we call it primary text, right? Meta platform, you call it primary text. That primary text should clearly tell the platform that this advert or this write-up is meant for the Nigerians that are overseas. Okay. So when the platform sees it, I'm targeting UK. Based on the write-up, the platform can tell that okay, this ad is a housing ad. Apart from that, it is a housing ad. It is targeting Nigerians that are in the UK. So until your content can address different user case, your ad will not really do well. Okay, these are some of the things you need to understand. Okay, so that is why some few businesses in the real estate space have been able to really take note of these teachings, and they are using it effectively. And some have been using it for a while now. If you look at a company, a brand like Landway, every now and then, when they used to launch new products, you see one estate having, like for example, using the Simi Lagos that is still in the market as a case study. You see them always coming up with different kind of videos, creating different user case, creating different video addressing different aspects of the product that they are selling. Okay, that's an example. Another good real estate company that is good at creating content addressing different aspects of their products is Xylox. Then currently, with the era of farm estate that is currently on, Symbolic has also done I've been using most of their video to run ad for some of their realtors. And the video, like I told the realtors, there's no need of investing in video. These guys have done a good job when it comes to video for the product. So just edit the video, include your content, and let's use it to run ad. And they have been making, most of those realtors have been making massive sales from those their videos. Okay, so these are examples you need to understand. So you see, for some of you must have seen Symbolic video. Is they have been trending in almost every platform. I've seen them on Facebook, Instagram. I've seen them on YouTube. So they are everywhere, but addressing different case scenario. And when you look at the video you see on YouTube might be different from the video you see, and even the video they are using to target diaspora client is different from those they are using to target those in Nigeria. So that is a perfect example where of a brand that understand how to use videos or content in the right way in an advertisement. All right. So these are some of the things you need to understand, right? So, these are some of the things I said in the last class before. Okay, the last part I already explained media, and I say media is the platform. Facebook is a media platform. Instagram is a media platform. LinkedIn is a media platform. YouTube, Twitter, and so on and so forth. These are all media platform. That should be when people teach you ads. I want to learn ad. I want to learn ad. 99% of all the ad classes you have been attending, they have only been teaching you media. You have good knowledge of media, but you lack the knowledge of message and market. And that is the reason why your ads have always struggled. So these are the things you need to pay attention to. So let's go on. Any question before I move to continue from where we stop now? So, questions, comments, and please, I will. I know some of you have already said that you are not too okay with the YouTube live, but I will still prefer we continue with the YouTube lives and try as much as you can to engage, because you say you don't like the YouTube live. It seems like most of you, even that last class, I know I would have continued the class if you guys were engaged, and I could see you, most of you, in the class, but you weren't saying anything. Hence, I decided to just end the class with the whole technical issues we were having. Right? So I will always appreciate you engage, ask questions, make comments. I remember that class I was asking, can you hear me? If you can hear me, should we continue? Use your emoji sign, make a comment, and most of you were just in the class and were saying nothing. Hence, I decided to end the class. For some of you who have been in my physical classes, even in my physical classes and paid classes, you know that the more you ask questions, the more detail I go. Some of you know the depths of my classes. So I will always appreciate you engage. That is the point. All right, so let's proceed. I'll give you a few minutes to either ask a question or make a comment before we proceed. Let me be sure you guys are following. All right, this is the best, sir. All right, thank you. I know most of the time, some of these things I teach are things I have taught in paid classes before. After a while, I always review my curriculum. After a while, things I used to teach for as paid classes, I teach them for free and update my curriculum. So take note of that. Okay. So that is so what you are learning is something some persons have paid hundreds of thousands to attend, and that is what you are currently learning for free. So please take it serious as we proceed. All right. So, all right. Let's proceed because of time. Um, Now that you understand the concept of the digital platform or the framework, which I tagged here, the magnetic triangle of marketing and sales, right? Now that you understand this framework, let's move a little bit further and talk about your funnel. So when we talk about funnel, what do we really mean? In a layman's term, right? I won't be using the certain definition. I'll just use layman's way of explaining what a funnel is about. Okay. So when I talk about a funnel, what do I really mean? Is a funnel is just like the proven steps. you will take me through for me to be able to end up buying the product or the services you are offering? Okay, I will address that question later. Please just hold on. Let me finish explaining the about funnel. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So, um, back to what I was saying. Funnel. Now, sorry, who is there? Please give me marker, please. Okay, let's proceed for now. I will get a marker and I will explain something on the screen. Or give me a minute. Let me see the marker here. Okay. How many of you can see the board? So I want to illustrate what how funnels work. Forget the whole coding or grammar you know as funnel, right? Let me make it simplify what a funnel is. The journey, there's what we call customer's journey. Okay, you can design a customer's journey that when you believe that, okay, every time I take customer through this channel, they will definitely buy. That is what a funnel simply is. Okay, or majority or this number percentage of them would buy. That is what a funnel is. So now back to the point. I don't know, can you see my, if you can see my board, please indicate. If you can't see my board, please indicate. So now this is the first touch point, ads, right? Which could be Facebook, Instagram, right? This is the ads, Google, and so on, right? This is the ad. Now, when I click on the ad, what happens next? When I click on that ad, what happened next? For some of you, this is what you do. Click on the ad, bring them to Instagram. Bring them to WhatsApp. What? Oh, okay. Bring them to WhatsApp. Plain papers. Okay, so I will illustrate, then I show you on the screen. Okay, so I have the ads. Then I move first, like I was saying, some of you go straight to WhatsApp. This is how some of you design your funnel. From the ad, when somebody click on the ad, it takes them straight to WhatsApp. This is how most of you design your funnel, right? Now, is this really bad? The answer is yes and no. Let me use for those of you in the real estate space. What space gives you room to build trust? Remember, people buy from those they know, like, and trust, right? So, does this WhatsApp give me room to build trust? The answer is no. There's no trust opportunity section for trust here. And even if if you are experienced, you can actually build trust inside this WhatsApp. But most of you don't do or try to build trust here. What most of you do here is that this is what most of you try to do. Most of you will try to tell the customer or the leads give the leads all the property details here. Whatever you tell me that I did not confirm from another source, I am not meant to trust it 100%. Remember, you must have heard, don't trust everything you see on social media or people tell you on. So now, the WhatsApp platform, the simple point I'm trying to make is that the WhatsApp platform is not enough to build trust. That is one. Number two, the WhatsApp platform also does not give you room to filter the leads. No matter how experienced you are, no matter how good you are, you must, no matter how experienced, when you generate lead, not all leads will be qualified. Okay? Not all lead will be qualified. No matter how experienced you are, not all lead would close. So, within that space, you must create a space for those who know you. And also, another disadvantage is that with the WhatsApp option, there is no room for retargeting. Retargeting is the digital version of prospecting. I repeat, retargeting is the digital version of prospecting. So if I cannot retarget the people again, then I'm leaving money on the table. If I see you just once, that is not enough. For some of you who were in the early classes of this year, where I taught about the LAMP framework, I told you the number of times I need to see you, the number of times I need to see you before I build acquaintance with you. Okay? And the number of times I need to see you for me to feel like I know you. The number of times I need to see you or interact with you for me to feel like I can trust you. Okay? There are some people you have spent time with, okay, on phone severally. You feel like you know this person for long, but you may not have even met the person, especially for those of you who are doing a long distance relationship. You see the person on social media and blah 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 blah. Let's leave that. Okay, about you get the point. Okay, so your funnel, because of this approach, most of you, your funnel is leaking, and whenever your funnel is leaking, you can barely get something out of it because the funnel is leaking. Okay, so what then is the ideal way to create your funnel? Now, while you are running a lead generation ad, you must plan retargeting into the picture. So one option, like I said, like for you to start, I will say first and first, I'll go with the ads platform. I will have a form, and this form can either be on Facebook or on what do you call a landing page, right? So the form has to be somewhere, either directly on the digital platform, not just Facebook now. It could be Google. You can create a form on Google. You can create a form on LinkedIn. You can create a form on almost every digital platform. But the point I'm trying to make is that from the ads, the simplest way you can run the ad from the ad is you take them to a form. Now, why do you need this form? Why do they need to fill this form? You don't make the form too easy and also don't make it too complex. Filling the form, right, makes it difficult, makes it help you filter on serious people. That is number one. Filling a form help you filter some unserious people, not all of them, some unserious people. So the form can be a little bit complex. Not everything should be auto-filled. Okay, so they have to use their hands to type in and answer some certain question. And from the questions and the answers they have, from the answers they've given to your questions, that would help you to know whether this person is a serious person or this person is just an abuki, like the person in the comment section just stated, right? So this is one of the way you need to go. So form first. So from the form, and what else aside filtering, what else does the form give me? The form give me an opportunity for me to have their email addresses, right? Email address. And what will I do with the email address? I can send emails. That is one. Aside sending of emails, the most important thing is that I can actually do retargeting by uploading their emails back into the platform and telling the platform, show my ad again to these people. And now the message you are going to use for retargeting is going to be different. And how do you do that? This is what you are going to do. Let's say, for example, I fill your form and you have spoken to me and I told you, okay, give me till month end. Now, what option do you have if I tell you give me till month end? What the option you have is that you might need to send me WhatsApp message to remind me. That is the option you have if you don't have my email, right? But I might respond and I might not respond. But what if you have my email? What are the options you have? And you now have two options. Outside WhatsApp, you can shoot a video specifically talking about what we discuss. And what I mean by what we're discussing, the month is coming to an end, right? That's just an example. The month is coming to an end. Hope you have not forgotten your dream of owning a home, or hope you have not forgotten your dream of buying a land, right? The month is coming to an end. So you can use something. So imagine I have spoken to you and I told you month end, right? That's just an example. I told you month end. And maybe from 25 or let's say 20 something, and all of a sudden I start seeing your video again. And this time it's no longer telling me about that same land again. All it's just saying is that every time I go online, that you can make this ad to spread across different platforms, go beyond even the social media platform. Okay. Now, this ad you are running on Facebook can show on Truecaller, can show on, just like when you click on what's their name? Jumia ads, for example, or after a while you start seeing that ad on different platform. Right, that's just an example. Okay, so you see an ad with a different video always telling you the month is coming to an end. Hope you have not forgotten or you have not abandoned your dream of investing in real estate. The month is coming to an end. Hope you have not forgotten your dream of owning a house. The month is coming to an end. Just something of that nature. Now, that person cannot block you. But there's a way you call that person on phone or send message, the person can block you. But with this option, the person has no choice to keep seeing your ad everywhere you go or everywhere he or she goes on the digital platforms. Okay, so this is an example why you need a form, but that is not the end of the funnel. So now, after they must have filled in their details on the form, that is when they can now access me on WhatsApp. Okay, that is an example. Straightforward. 3 touch point: add, form, WhatsApp. Then from the WhatsApp email, I already have the emails for retargeting. I have WhatsApp and all of that. Okay, so that's a simple form structure, okay, or what you call funnel. Now let me give you a little bit more complex option. Now this complex option this time around will work this way. Ad is still the first thing. Ads. Okay, I just noticed I didn't show you the last thing I did. Okay. Ads, form, and the form I talked about email. But remember, you must have asked certain questions that help you to filter them. Okay. So now, WhatsApp, which is the end point here. But I'm going to give you something a bit more complex than this simple one that I've given to you. Now, the next is the ads. Sorry, I know those on Facebook, you are free to be dropping your comment as well. Okay, so back to ads. Now, after ads, What next do I want them to do after they must have clicked on the ads? I could expect them to take them to a landing page, right? Landing page. Then, what are they doing on the landing page? They watch an educational video. Okay? They watch an educational video. An educational video, maybe selling the city where you are, selling the city. That is if your city is not too much, if your city is not like Lagos that is already well known, right? But even within the Lagos, like some of my enclave member the other time had to write an ebook. I made it mandatory. Everybody must write an ebook. So if you see an ad, you click on it, a video explain some of the topics that are in that ebook, right? A video that explained, like for example, we talked that was when the demolition was so intense in Lagos. That was about 2 years ago when the demolition was so intense. Okay, so a video where you are educating them, a short ad, then a short video, then takes them to maybe a 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes video that or 3 to 10 minutes video where you are explaining in details some of the causes of demolition in Lagos State and how they can still buy land and avoid their properties being demolished or being seized by the government. That video is not on the digital platform. That video is on a landing page. Okay, so you click on the ad. The next journey is a landing page where you are articulating and very explaining the problem. Okay, now at the end of the video, you tell them to download your ebook for consultation. Now, for them to down, when they click on there's a button at the end of that video, at the bottom of that landing page. When they click on it, it pops up a form. Okay, landing ads to landing page. Then they click on the button on the landing page, it takes them to a form. Okay, so on that form, it will now request them to fill in their information. It is after they must have filled in the informations you want to collect from them, then you can now they will now see a button that tells them to click and download the ebook. Okay, so this time now I have like 4 touch points: ads, landing page, form, downloading of ebook. Okay, so this is the approach here. So for those of you here, this is the approach. So ads, which could be on Facebook, Instagram, any platform of your choice. Landing page, which you can easily design that platform for designing landing pages as well, and very affordable. Then a form, then they either get the reward. We call this part the reward. Why are they filling their information? Because you promise to give them something. The ebook is the reward. Okay, so this is another thing that is making. Now let me explain this. People who go through landing page, if you run ad and drive your traffic to a landing page, you will get less number of leads. If you take your ad to a landing page, your traffic to a landing page, you will get less number of lead. But the advantage is that you would convert more of those leads. So if you have 100 leads from a landing page and 100 from direct on Facebook, right? You could convert up to 20 to 30% that are from the landing page. You might only be able to convert 5% of those that are on Facebook or straight to WhatsApp. So you have to choose which works for you better, quantity or quality. Okay, and for the person who talked about aboki, this is also one of the ways to avoid aboki. Okay, this option also helps you to avoid aboki, but nevertheless, that does not mean that the only way to avoid aboki is by going through a landing page. The truth is, I can't even remember when last an aboki filled my form. Okay, so these are the things you need to take note of. So your targeting and your content could be the reason why aboki are filling your form. So questions or comments before we proceed to the next point? Questions or comments? Questions or comments?
Awilo komba Eguchika toka wa Mobad ni tipoba We living like no other Ewanya na la chukwa junya pito pawagime I no need talk I'm gonna feeling goodbye.
Giving this time for you to ask questions. Okay, this music, I'm just playing this to give you time for those of you that might be typing your questions. So give you time to type your questions. So when I stop the music, I'll proceed again. So take note of that. No questions, so I guess I can proceed since there are no questions. Okay. Now I've been able to explain reasons your ads are not converting and your funnel to you. Now, the last section of today's class, okay, I use lead campaign and create instant form on Facebook, but still those bookies still fill the form. Yeah. Then we need to look at your targeting options. What are the targeting criteria you are using? Number two, who are your followers? Did you buy followers? So there are a lot of few factors we need to consider. Okay. So, but nevertheless, now what's the percentage of the bookies you are getting? What are the cities you are targeting? What is the write-up? Do you just describe the products on the write-up, or what exactly do you do? Okay, so these are questions you need to answer. I can't just straightforward and tell you this is why this is happening to you, but I know there is a reason why it is happening. Okay? Okay? So, but nevertheless, why it is happening. Okay? So you need to troubleshoot your page, starting with the page. Aside the page, we need to look at the content of the ads. Okay. Okay, I target Abuja a lot and I hardly have Aboki fill my form. I target Abuja a lot. Okay, so then it has to be, we need to look at your detailed targeting and look at diagnose your page. Those are the two things you need to look at this point. At least now we know it's Abuja you are targeting. So we now need to look at what I mean your targeting options. So what are the targeting keywords you are using in your targeting? Okay, the targeting keywords. Those are now the things we now need to look out for. And also, if I may ask, is it because you are based in Abuja, you are targeting only Abuja? I'm not based in Abuja, but I target Abuja. I'm not based in that cities I don't I'm not based or I've not even been to, but I target them and I still get results. The products you are selling, is it for only those based in Abuja? Okay, these are some of the things you need to also look out for. Is it only when you target Abuja you are getting this issue, or even when you target other locations. Okay, what do you sell? Maybe let's start from there. Living with caring. Okay, let's start with what do you sell? What's your business about? So let's address your case fully if possible. If you can do it this thing fast. Okay, you sell real estate. So without me living in Abuja, I can buy products from our property in Abuja. Okay, at least we have what do you call Landmark, which is a company that is in Lagos, and they have products in Abuja. And I run ads for a lot of realtors, popular top selling realtors who are based in Lagos. I run their ads and they are making sales. Sometimes I don't even get to target the Abuja itself. And even when I target the Abuja, I don't open the ad to every part of Abuja. I just target specific locations within the Abuja. Okay. So what you first of all do, maybe just run like a 3 to 4 days ad, target other locations outside of Abuja and see if you have, because what we are trying to trace is if there is something wrong with your page setting is making you attract those people, right? That's what we are trying to do. So target a different location and see, because there's a situation whereby you are targeting different location, but you are still get your ad is still falling into those people. There are situations like that. So at that point, we know, okay, it's the page settings we need to work on and maybe delete some old posts, some posts that are attracting. Okay. So these are some of the things you need. So run a 3 to 4 days ad targeting a different location. Not don't include Abuja at all. Just target a different location and see if you still attract Abuja. Then also you now maybe in that your ad, your targeting options also have to change. Let's say if you have been targeting people who have interest in, let's say, real estate. Now let me even explain this. Now let me use the opportunity to explain this part. Can they even see my board? Sorry, maybe next class we'll get a better zoom in this thing so you can all everybody can see. Now, interesting. Let's say you are targeting people who have interest in real estate. Let's say those are the people you have always targeted, right? And this time around, you might not want to target these people, because when we say interest, okay, let's even look at it first. Interest in real estate. You who is a realtor, you have interest in real estate, so your fellow realtors are part of the people that will see the ad. That is one. Interest in real estate. So then people who intending buyers hardly have interest in real estate. Intending buyers hardly have interest in real estate. What do I mean by intending buyers hardly have interest in real estate? They hardly have digital footprints of real estate. How does the platform know you have interest in real estate? Based on the things you click on, the pages you follow, the things you like to people you follow, the you relate with, the type of post you do, and so on and so forth. Your activities online is what determines the things you have interest in, right? Now, people who want to invest in real estate could have interest in property investing. Property investing. You can see I did not say interest in real estate. Property investing. They have interest in investing in property. Okay? They go to website like Nigerian Property Center, Property Pro, and so on and so forth. So they have interest in, but on the platform you will not see Property Pro, right? So you will see something like using Facebook as a case study now, please. You will see things like you see things like property finders. Okay, property finders. Okay, so these are the things you would see. So instead of always looking for People who have interest in real estate, people who have interest in land and houses. That is the thing I want to buy. So that is the thing I will likely search for. Apartment. But this is when I want to even target people that have interest within the real estate space, right? But on a norm, I could target banking. So what I'm doing, this simply means that I'm looking for bankers. Okay, so that is just the example, how far I will go with that in terms of this class. More question. Thank you, Living with Karen official, for asking questions. So at least others that are not asking, I guess they are also learning now. Ask questions. So since this quarter, I'm in the mood to teach for free. So ask question and learn now. Any other question? Okay. So in the absence of question, I want to say this. I think I made mention of these 2 classes ago. Who is interested? Who is interested in having a lead generation challenge? Lead generation challenge, and I remember explaining it that day. Lead generation challenge, you need a lead is like the one of the raw materials you need for closing sales. So how then does the lead generation work, or lead generation challenge work? We meet once every week, either physical or digital. I'll teach you, then walk you through step by step. I'll be setting up ads. I'll be using my own customers' ad. I will tell you the type of videos to shoot. Prepare the videos before time, or I tell you to send me your existing videos. I'll vet them and pick the ones that I know will convert for you. Then you will now start meeting. So when we meet, let's say today we are setting up an ad. We are targeting UK, diaspora ads, or we are targeting Canada, we are targeting US, and so on and so forth. So I will set up the ad. If you are with me physically, I'm setting up the ad for you. If you are not with me, I'm pointing you, click here, click here, click here. You are generating the lead, put this is the budget. But please remember, you'll be ready to spend money on the ad. Don't go and be looking for, if you know you are planning to spend 5,000 naira, don't even bother. 5,000 naira for ads, please don't bother. If you really want to spend money and you want to get results, those are the only people we are taking for the lead generation class, lead generation challenge. So at the end, the target is that at the end of the lead generation challenge, you will be able to have a minimum of 300 leads. Minimum of 300 leads. That is what we are expected to be able to. And let me also make it clear. That means on average, you would have spent on your ad platform. It's not money you are giving to me. You are putting it on your ad account or whatever you are putting it, or whichever platform you are using, right? You would have spent, so you must budget a minimum of 350, 300 to 350 on the ads. That is what you are spending on ad platform. Okay, so you must keep 300 to 350 minimum on the ad. Then if you now want to generate, some people are targeting to generate 1,000, some are targeting to generate 5,000. So now with that, I can guarantee you 85% of these your leads will be quality leads. Okay, minimum of 85% of them will be quality leads. So the ball is in your court. If you want to be part of the lead generation challenge, you have your money, you are ready to run your ad, let me know in the WhatsApp group. Okay. For some of you who might be joining directly to this class, we have WhatsApp groups where we have hundreds of people in those groups. We have several groups. So what we do is that is where we even post most of our trainings and stuff like that. So take note of that. So if you join this group, maybe somebody shared the link with you, reach out to the person to ask the person for the group link. Okay, ask for the group link and you'll be able to join that one. All right, so that is it. Questions? And also another announcement I want to make is that sooner or later it will only be subscribers that would be having access to the class. So the settings are there, but for now I'm just ignoring that option. Only the subscribers. So if you have been joining the class, you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so before the end of the class or at the end of the class. Subscribe so that by the time we start setting up only subscriber, even when you have the link, you won't be able to join the class unless you subscribe. Okay, the settings are always there, but for now we are making it open for you. So take note of that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that sooner or later we'll also be posting videos that are not from these trainings on that place. So take note of that. So you have access to the class. In case you have not subscribed, make sure to subscribe today. Questions? I'm waiting for more questions. Okay, like I promised, this is going to be a series. Advertisement is not something I can teach you in one day. It's going to be a series. Okay, so and I will be explaining different things about ads on a daily basis, and I will expect you to follow and join every class. Invite your friends and your loved ones, okay, in subsequent classes, your team members in subsequent classes, and you keep getting values which you'll be paying for, or some of the classes you have been paying for. There are some of them that I'm certain and I can tell you for free that won't give you this level of in-depth knowledge. So with that being said, and the absence of questions, we've come to the end of today's section. Sunday class will still hold. Remember, this was supposed to be last Sunday class that ended because of network and other technical challenges we were having. Hence, we decided to stop the class halfway. So